All right, Leo, this to me is pretty straightforward. So from Le Vampire, the path to prison, bitterness, grudge, and refusal to let go, and then joy from chakra wisdom. Whatever bitterness from the past, whatever pain, whatever hurt that you're hanging on to is preventing you from experiencing joy. And that's basically what it is. I mean, it's like you're purposely detaching yourself from experiencing the joy that you have in your life right now because of a bitter past. But it makes me wonder if, for some of you, it's not being brought back up. Now, with joy, you know, this is very much like the Fool. So if we're taking this as advice, it's saying that you need to go ahead and leap. It's saying that you may not know where you are going, but you will land on your feet. But you have to become that conduit for joy. Now, some of you may be experiencing, you know, big changes in your life. Moving, new job, marriage, having a baby, things like that. But because of the past, you can't experience that joy. All right, Leo. Here's your overall for the week. The Knight of Pentacles. I don't think that this is about an unwillingness to change. I look at the Knight of Pentacles and I think slow and steady, right? Slow and steady. You know, you may be dealing with a situation that it's taking too long to get to where you want it to be. I don't think that you're dragging ass, but I don't really think that it's about another person dragging the situation along either. It's just things are going to be slow going, right? But because he's so methodical in the way that he does things, I feel like, you know, with determination here, things will start to eventually get to where you want it to be. But slow and steady, right? Like cautiously moving forward, sticking to plans. Oh boy. All right. In the past, the Eight of Cups. So clearly in the past, you have thought about or have actually moved away from something that wasn't fulfilling you. You know, if you're thinking about it, then the slow and steady progress makes sense, right? Like slow and steady here will just slowly move away from the situation and work on something else, right? Like you need things to be in a certain order before you can actually move on. But this clearly is about you thinking about it or actually doing it here. Oh shit. All right. In the present, the Lovers. Could definitely have to do with a significant relationship. But are you rethinking your choices here when it comes to your relationship? Are you rethinking this? Or have you thought about walking away? But are you looking at it differently here with the Knight of Pentacles? Are you looking at it like if I just stick to this, you know, eventually things are going to get to where I want them to be? You know, because with the Lovers, definitely relationship, but also the major choices you're making in that relationship. Are you thinking about doing something that is based on temptation here? Or are you more focused on doing what is right, even though you're showing in the past that you're not emotionally fulfilled with what you're doing right now? Future conditions, the Six of Pentacles, right? The equal give and take here. But then I also feel like you need a little bit more, like you need to give me something here. You need to give me something that's going to show me that things are going to start moving in the right direction. That's kind of how I feel about that. I don't think that you're dealing with anybody that's looking for a handout, you know, because I still see the scales in this, but I also feel like you have given to this. You have already given your fair share on this. You need a little bit more, right? You have to show me something. Your best path to follow, the Eight of Swords. Don't stay stuck in a way of thinking about this situation. You know, and that those kind of thoughts are going to stop anything from moving forward, because I really think that this is what this is about. I think that you have thought about moving away from this. I think that you've thought about not giving to this situation anymore. But the thing is if you're stuck with that type of thinking, then how can you expect anything to move forward in this, you know? But definitely don't keep yourself stuck in a situation that you feel like is going nowhere, though, either. But I don't know. I think that this is more about the way that you're thinking. Oh, shit. All right. And if you're doing that, then it's going to continue to create these types of arguments. So the Five of Swords being in your environment. All right, guys, I don't want this to die, so I'm going to plug this in, and we're going to lose a little bit of light. Hopefully you guys can still see. Sorry. I always forget to charge that damn thing. Anyway, the Five of Swords being in your environment. This is extreme miscommunication, getting caught up in bullshit that you shouldn't be involved in. You may be dealing with somebody here that is not happy with the choices that you're making, not happy with the way that you're acting, or it's because of how they are trying to, get control of you in the situation that you may have been thinking about moving on because, clearly that shit's not going to make you happy. And are you dealing with somebody who's constantly bringing up the past, though, too, when you should be in a place of joy? But what I will say is, because of the Eight of Swords being your advice, it goes both ways. Seriously, you can't keep yourself stuck in a situation that is not making you happy. If we're talking about a relationship or just a major life choice you're about to make. But you can't keep thinking the same way because it's not getting you anywhere. Clearly. Your hopes and your fears, the Seven of Pentacles. All right. This, to me, especially with the Knight of Pentacles being there, is you hoping that there is a way to continue the growth, even though what you're assessing about the situation right now may not be what you want to see. Because with that Five of Swords, no. Especially with the Eight of Cups kicking this off. And then I look at it this way and think that this has been going on for a while and things are just, slowly progressing to worse and worse and worse. But there's still, that potential here to work things out, and I need something. You need to show me something here and make sure that, you're headed in the right direction. But I look at that as a hope. Because, the Eight of Cups is clearly showing that in the past you're not seeing what you want anyway. But is there potential? Is there potential to have this situation grow into what you want it to be, Whew. Oh, and then coming out the Two of Cups. There is a connection. And what I love about this deck is, look at this, right? The minor and the major, and it's both the same person. Beautiful cards. So in the end here, it looks like as long as they're willing to give and you're willing to open up to that and stop looking at, I'm just going to have to walk away, I'm just going to have to walk away, then there's a connection that's made. It's like you come back together. There's an understanding. Once things are, equally balanced here with the Six of Pentacles. It's like as long as you kind of hang in there, change the way that you're thinking, stop looking back at, I need to walk away, I need to move on, and as long as this person stops bringing up the past for you, there's no reason why you can't get to a place where you start to see eye to eye, right? It comes to a close in a really good way. I just think that right now what you guys are doing is like, no. Because I do think that this is going to have to do with a relationship, a very significant one for a lot of you. The Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups, I'm not giving any more to this shit. Why should I? That's what that is, and that's both of you. I'm not going to give any more. I'm going to hold on to the way that I'm feeling. I'm not going to release that, right? And the fighting may be over the fact that there isn't enough attention being given to one person or the other. Right? You may feel like neglected, or, you may be dealing with somebody that's getting a lot of attention here, a lot of recognition, and somebody's not happy with it. They may be jealous, that may be causing the fighting, right? That may be you or the other person, because I feel like this is what that is about. Now, with the World, with the Six of Wands, absolutely we could be talking about victory over this. But I feel like that is the issue. That is the problem. That is what's causing the arguments, because it's clarifying the Lovers and the Five of Swords. But with the World coming out on this, it's going to come to a close in a good way for both of you, where you get to go back to being in a place where you feel connected. You feel like you're seeing things the same way. You're sharing your emotions. There isn't this, bullshit argument going on anymore. It's over. We're done with that chapter in our life. We've accomplished something really big here by getting past this and getting, back together, right? It's not bad, Leo. It's just what you're dealing with. It's not good. But I still think that you need to stop keeping yourself stuck in a way of thinking about it. Because with that Eight of Cups, You don't want to constantly be in this place where I got to walk away from this. I got to walk away from this. As long as you're willing to let that go, even though clearly you weren't in the past, there's no reason why things can't complete out in a good way, right? But I still feel like for you, it's like you got to show me something. So first of all, the crown chakra, that's a big one. I don't get to see that one a lot. This is, you know, you needing to open up your mind to what source is trying to bring into you, right? Opening up to that wisdom, that higher wisdom, and integration. Integration is talking about getting the mind, the body, and the spirit going in the right direction, getting all of those on the right path, right? And that is the information that is coming to you from source. And once you get everything going in the right direction, you'll be able to release whatever pain from the past and whatever bullshit is going on here, right? Once you feel like you're more in harmony with yourself and where, you know, this relationship is headed, then all that other stuff can fall away. But you need to be open to, you know, what spirit is trying to tell you, what information is coming in from source. And then ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. And I'm looking back at that. That's why I kind of stumbled there reading it, because I'm looking at that Six of Pentacles going, yeah, yep, yeah. So clearly here, if this is about a relationship, you got to take some time to get to know each other a little bit better than what you think you know about each other. And find out, you know, where this person is needing help, where they're needing some attention from you, or ask that from your partner, you know. But damn, Leo, I mean, and I feel like all of it is unnecessary, but it has pushed you to a point where you thought about leaving a relationship before with that Eight of Cups. But I still look at you coming out on this and getting past the bitterness and getting back to a better connection, because with the world being there, you know, this isn't a relationship coming to an end here. It is the completion of the circumstances that kept you apart.